Next up, podcast listeners, we have the dumbest bill in America. And do we have a lead up, Mr. Producer?
Of course.
Here it is.
Dum 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 dum.
And it's the dumbest bill in America, and it is paying criminals not to shoot people. You heard that correctly. Paying criminals not to shoot people, aka cash for criminals. Of course, it's in San Francisco, and it's under the Dream Keeper Fellowship. Well, don't take my word for it. Here's ABC News 7 in San Francisco reporting. We have a clip, and here it is.
Listen to this. A pilot program in San Francisco will incentivize people not to commit crimes by paying them a stipend. As ABC 7 News reporter Melanie Woodrow explains, the program isn't without controversy.
The San Francisco Dreamkeeper Fellowship is expected to launch in October. The pilot program will initially pay 10 at-risk for violence participants $300 a month to act as public safety ambassadors. If they meet certain milestones, they'll be eligible for as much as $500 a month. Cheryl Davis is the executive director of the San Francisco Human Rights Commission.
They are expected to do some conversations around public safety, to do some goal setting for themselves, to also think about how they can influence and impact their communities to be better.
Yeah, the goal setting. The goal setting is, well, you know, Johnny, you shot and killed that guy last year. We're going to pay you $300 not to shoot anyone, but we're going to give you $300 a month. You know, I think it's $300 a month. And I don't think it's $300 a week. I think $300 a month sounds about right. That's San Francisco, and that's ABC News San Francisco. We're going to give you, Johnny, $300 a month for not shooting anyone. Great job, Johnny. This month you didn't shoot anyone. Here's $300. So what could go wrong? Oh, well, ABC News 7 in San Francisco, that same report. Here's what could go wrong. We have that clip, and here it is.
David Mohammed, executive director of the National Institute for Criminal Justice Reform, says Operation Peacemaker Fellowship, a program of the Richmond Office of Neighborhood Safety, was massively successful.
There was a 70% reductions in shootings and homicides in Richmond.
But the Office of Neighborhood Safety was not without controversy. One member was arrested and later sentenced to 40 years to life for shooting and killing Javante Prothro, whose mother spoke to ABC 7 News in 2016.
You didn't take their guns. You were giving them money to buy more guns.
So that mother lost her son because the criminal who shot and killed her son was part of the Cash for Criminals program, where he was being paid as a criminal not to shoot people. But instead, he used the $300 to buy a better gun. Can't make this stuff up. How does California survive with these idiot progressives who are running the state and running the cities? They're like at every level of government. It's almost like a disease. And so this poor mom lost her son because the Cash for Criminals program, namely paying criminals not to shoot people, didn't work. And, you know, it's funny when, funny strains, by the way, that when a program like this doesn't work, someone dies. It's pretty important. Yeah, it's not like most programs where, you know, you pay them and they don't go to work. No, not this. This is paying them and they actually kill people. So I think we should have San Francisco extend this to other areas. So no, in San Francisco, there's a problem with people living on the street and pooping on the street. So bad that there's the poop patrol in San Francisco. This is actually a thing. People that are hired by the city and they've got these power sprayers and vans and they drive up to, you know, these tenement camps outside and there's poop all over the sidewalk in the street and they just like power spray it off, you know, and then wash it down the drain. At least I presume. It's disgusting because it's going to end up in a waterway. But hey, you know, who am I to judge California's brilliance? You know, they're really pro-environment there. So they're going to have cash for criminals. So why not cash for poopers, right? Here, sir, here's $300 a month if you don't poop on the street. And how about the drug, you know, the stoners, right? I mean, the people that are doing drugs, a lot of these same people who are pooping on the street are drug addicts. Let's face it, they are, because California has legalized everything under the sun. And that's really gone well for the state because you have all these people that are drug addicts. They live on the street because they're stoned all the time with every kind of drug imaginable to mankind. So not just cash for criminals and not just cash for poopers, but cash for stoners, right? Sir, if you stay sober, we're going to give you $300 a month. It's like, oh, thanks, dude. I'm going to use that to buy my next like weed. Yeah. So you know that's going to happen. So paying criminals not to shoot people. So let's read what the San Francisco Examiner has said. It says, a local solution, and this is this week, right? So this is a new article. A local solution for gun violence, paying people $300 a month. We are trying to address the root causes of what's happened. San Francisco thinks it may have an answer for its rising gun violence problem, paying people not to pull the trigger. I mean, here's an idea. Why don't you tell the person who pulled the trigger that they should pay the person that they shot? The idea is to provide the small number of San Franciscans who authorities believe are most at risk of shooting someone or being shot with an incentive to help pay and stay out of trouble. It's a solution that proponents say already has shown promise preventing gun crimes in other parts of California. At worst, the program could be cash for criminals like its predecessors in cities around the Bay Area, who've also implemented the program. At best, it could save lives and tax dollars, otherwise spent on incarceration. No, actually, at worst, it could result in people dying, which has already happened with the Cash for Criminals program. At best, the taxpayers are going to have less money in their pockets because you're paying these idiots. Instead of making them pay for their crimes, you're paying them and rewarding them after they commit the crime. So who wouldn't do that? It's like, here's an idea. We're going to do cash for criminals. And then you get a gun, and you intentionally miss someone and shoot them. And you show up and go, hey, look, I'd like to sign up for the Cash for Criminals program and get $300 a month. And you really weren't a criminal to begin with, but you're getting $300 a month. And you easily pass the program. The program, which will launch as a pilot in October, is called the Dream Keeper Fellowship. It's San Francisco's latest iteration of a guaranteed income program that will provide high-risk individuals with $300 a month, just as a start, of course. Participants will be able to earn up to $200 more a month by hitting milestones in the program, such as landing a job interview, complying with probation, or consistently meeting with a mentor. So you can get $500 a month for not shooting people. The initiative will pair participants with newly hired life coaches from the Street Violence Intervention Program, known as SVIP, who will help them make the right choices and access services. The theory is that up to $500 stipend will serve as an incentive to participate and stay engaged. We know that $500 in San Francisco is not a significant amount of money, said Cheryl Davis, a proponent of the program and executive director of Human Rights Commission. But if it's enough to get you in to talk to folks and be able to make a plan for your life, then it's huge. Another guaranteed income situation? This isn't the first time a city has tried to reduce gun violence by offering cash. A similar anti-violence program in Oakland, California, for instance, offers young adults up to $300 for achieving milestones. What's new in San Francisco would start people off with a basic income of $300 a month. Ooh, without even having to meet any marks. So San Francisco's $300 is something that you get just by not shooting someone and stopping shooting people, but you don't actually have to meet any milestones to get the $300. I mean, you want to know why people are leaving California? Because the California nutty, idiot, crazy, out of their mind politicians throughout California, all the lefties, are passing bills like paying criminals not to shoot people and cash for criminals. And that is the dumbest bill in America.